Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about today is the single most important moment of transparency in the U.S. government history. The Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, just declassified proof of treason by 44 himself. Yes, sir. I have never, in my 49 years, seen the intelligence community declassify proof of their own crimes against the American people. Nope. And the evidence is astonishing, I will say that. U.S. Intel admitted that Russia did not hack the 2016 election. And 44 pushed the Russia hoax to sabotage Mr. T. Yes, and the Steele dossier was fake. But Comey used it anyway, and Brennan and Clapper entrenched the hoax deep into the intel community and punished the whistleblowers. Oh dear me. Yeah, corporate media was used to launder fake government propaganda relentlessly, and the Russia probe was an insurrectionist plan to take down Mr. T. And they knew Russia didn't interfere in the election, yet they fabricated the intelligence to justify a years-long effort to overthrow Mr. T. Yes. And this was a deliberate campaign of treason, aimed at removing a legitimately elected president. The treason is now exposed, and I have the proof. Oh, yes, I do. We have the names. Now it's time to hold them accountable. Are you ready to see the proof? Here we go. Okay, here we go. This is the first page, okay? This is for immediate release, okay, July 18th, 2025. New evidence of Obama administration conspiracy to subvert President Trump's 2016 victory and presidency. Washington, D.C. On Friday, Director of National Intelligence, DNI, Tulsi Gabbard, revealed overwhelming evidence that demonstrates how, after President Trump won the 2016 election against Hillary Clinton, President Obama and his National Security Cabinet manufactured and politicized intelligence to lay the groundwork for what was essentially a years-long coup against President Trump. In the months leading up to the November 2016 election, the intelligence community, or IC, consistently assessed that Russia is probably not trying to influence the election by causing cyber means. On December 7th, 2016, after the election, talking points were prepared for DNI James Clapper, stating, foreign adversaries did not use cyber attacks on election infrastructure to alter the U.S. presidential election outcome. On December 9th, 2016, President Obama's White House gathered top National Security Council principals for a meeting that included James Clapper, John Brennan, Susan Rice, John Kerry, Loretta Lynch, Andrew McCabe, and others to discuss Russia. After the meeting, DNI Clapper's executive assistant sent an email to IC leaders tasking them with creating a new IC assessment per the president's request that details the tools Moscow used and actions it took to influence the 2016 election. It went on to say ODNI will lead this effort with participation from CIA, FBI, NSA, and DHS. And then it goes on to say that Obama officials leaked false statements to media outlets, including the Washington Post, claiming Russia has attempted through cyber means to interfere in, if not actively influence, the outcome of an election. On January 6, 2017, a new intelligence community assessment was released that directly contradicted the IC assessments that were made through the previous 6 months. After months of investigation into this matter, the facts reveal this new assessment was based on information that was known by those involved to be manufactured, i.e. the Steele dossier, or deemed as not credible. This was politicized intelligence that was used as basis for countless smears, seeking to delegitimize President Trump's victory. The years-long Mueller investigation to congressional impeachments, high-level officials being investigated, arrested, and thrown in jail, heightened U.S.-Russia tensions, and more. The issue I am raising is not a partisan issue. It is one that concerns every American. The information we are releasing today clearly shows there was a treasonous conspiracy in 2016 committed by officials at the highest level of our government. Their goal was to subvert the will of the American people and enact what was essentially a years-long coup with the objective of trying to usurp the president from fulfilling the mandate bestowed upon him by the American people, said DNI Tulsi Gabbard. The egregious abuse of power and blatant rejection of our Constitution threatens the very foundation and integrity of our democratic republic. No matter how powerful, every person involved in this conspiracy must be investigated and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law to ensure nothing like this ever happens again. The American people's faith and trust in our democratic republic, and therefore the future of our nation, depends on it. As such, I am providing all documents to the Department of Justice to deliver the accountability that President Trump, his family, and the American people deserve. And then we have this. This is approved for release by DNI on July 17, 2025. It says, we assess that Russian and criminal actors did not impact recent U.S. election results by conducting malicious cyber activities against election infrastructure. Russian government affiliated actors most likely compromised an Illinois voter registration database and unsuccessfully attempted the same in other states. Election monitoring and the type of systems targeted, infrastructure not used to cast or count votes, make it highly unlikely it would have resulted in altering any state's official vote result. Criminal activity also failed to reach the scale of sophistication necessary to change election outcomes. New election technology in the future that decreases diversity in systems and expands computer-enabled functions provides additional avenues to manipulate votes, but it will remain a significant challenge to sway elections through cyber means. Possible Russian government-affiliated cyber actors extracted voter data, mostly containing names and addresses of voters from Illinois' Board of Elections registration database in July that lacked adequate security safeguards. We also observed scanning and similar efforts against Secretary of State systems and websites in up to 20 more states from servers operated by a Russian-owned company with ties to Russian military cyber actors. The same infrastructure used against Illinois. And then this one says, the IC is prepared to produce an assessment per the president's request that pulls together the information we have on the tools Moscow used and the actions it took to influence the 2016 election, an explanation of why Moscow directed these activities and how Moscow's approach has changed over time, going back to 2008 and 2012 as reference points. ODNI will lead the effort with participation from CIA, FBI, NSA, and DHS. The goal would be to produce a highly classified version and an unclassified version. The classified version would include a comprehensive analysis of Russia's activities, drawing from all available resources, with a target delivery date of 9 January to the president. The unclassified version would follow the classified delivery, and to the greatest extent possible would include the same information while still protecting sources and methods. The goal would be to make the unclassified document publicly available. The interagency steering group led by ODNI will scope project, ensure access to information, provide coordination and review and guidance on classification. Interagency Tiger team will draft assessment of what happened. CIA, FBI, NSA officers will participate. DHS and OSE analysis will contribute. Assessment will address the following questions. How did Moscow seek to influence the U.S. presidential election in 2016? What tool did they use? Hacking, leaks, cyber activity against voting systems, media spin, trolls, and fake news. So then we have this. Okay, this is activity and on and since election day. It says, we assess that foreign adversaries did not use cyber attacks on election infrastructure to offer the U.S. presidential election outcome this year. We have no evidence of cyber manipulation of election infrastructure intended to alter results. And down here it says December 8th, 2016, IC officials discussed the draft PDB, which finds that Russian and criminal actors did not impact recent U.S. elections, resulting by conducting malicious cyber activities against election infrastructure. The group also decides the PDB will be published the following day due to high administrative interests. And then if you look up here, it says December 9th, 2016, the Obama White House gathers top cabinet officials for National Security Council Principals Committee, or PC, meeting James Clapper, John Brennan, Susan Rice, John Kerry, Brian McKeon, Loretta Lynch, Andrew McCabe, and Avril Haines are among those in attendance. And then down here, it's a little fuzzy, so it's kind of hard to read. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Let's see. It says Chair Susan Rice, Justice Loretta Lynch, Mary McCord, DNI, James Clapper, FBI, Andrew McCain, CIA, John Brennan, White House, Avril Haines, Lisa Monaco, and Ben Rhodes. And then down here, I don't know if you can see that, down here, it says, after the meeting, in an email titled POTUS, Tasking on Russia Election Meddling, Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, assistant, sends an email to ODNI leaders, tasking them with the creation of an assessment per the president's request. ODNI leads the effort along with the CIA, FBI, NSA, and DHS. So with that being said, I'm hoping that they're all of those people that were just named, that they're all going to have matching silver bracelets for treason. Yeah. That's all I have to say about that. Okay. All right, guys, I am out of here. I will see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fear less, and God bless. Ciao.